Hi, Jolise DeAngelis here again. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a tea bag fold, a Radiant Star fold. It is Carol Leopard's, which by the way I always thought her name was pronounced Leopard, but since she pronounced it Leopard, I guess I will too. Anyway, this great tea bag medallion is so beautiful. It just looks so nice when it's done. It's really fun to make. It's not as hard as what you think it is. The tutorial for it, the instructions, the written instructions are already on Cup, so you'll really enjoy making this. Now, we'll be using this sheet right here. It's Radiant Star number 7 that I made. And the reason why we're going to be using this one is because the different parts of the Radiant Star medallion are going to be really obvious as I fold this, so you'll really enjoy it. Now this particular sheet is cup number 169177_126, and let's get started. This is the normal size tea bag fold. I'm going to be using a big one just so that you're going to be able to follow more closely what I do. Now normally when I do this, I have the tea bag instructions printed out and over here on my desk so I can follow step by step. If you want to go ahead and print out that instruction sheet before we start, and then you can kind of follow. Now here's the finished fold, just one tile. We'll make 8 of them, but just so that you guys know what I'm talking about. This part right here is the wing, this is the main, and this is the center. So on your tile, when you look at your tile, you can kind of see it's going to turn out the same way. Here's the main, the wing, and the center. So now let's go ahead and fold. First of all, we're going to make the original kite fold. And so make sure you start from your main to the center of the center. Okay, so just go like that. And the sharper your creases and the more exact you are, the better your end product will be. Now what I do with this one is I really try and start with make sure that my center is actually as pointed as possible, because sometimes your squares aren't exactly square, so it doesn't exactly, on this end it might not exactly match up, but this end is really important because of the way you make the end medallion. Okay, so now we're going to bring this side in. Okay, make sure that you're starting at the main end. Okay, that's what you're working with. You're working with the main. And you just bring this side over to the center. And you go like this and you bring it down. Now the other side, and make sure your creases are good and solid and sharp. Now on this side, when I bring this one up, I want to make sure that this side coincides so that they're even on top. That's going to make a difference in the way that your fold goes. And I always start at the top and then work my way down. It has a tendency to make this the little point a little bit sharper. It doesn't always work exactly, but it makes it a little bit sharper. Okay, now the next fold, the next step is to take this edge here and we're going to bring it down so that there's a 90-degree angle right here like this. And it's easy to match up because you're just matching up this edge to this edge. And it also helps a little bit if you match up this corner right here is going to match up to the center line between those two folds right there. So just kind of make sure you got both of those and then crease it thoroughly. Now you're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. You're just going to bring this to your 90-degree fold, that to that, and you're going to bring that little point into the center. And the sharper these creases are, the better you fold them, the easier this next step is going to be. Now this next step can be a little bit tricky. I'm going to try and make it so that you can see it easily for the camera. It's kind of backwards for me, so I'm going to kind of try and see. Okay, when I lift this up, can you see these two fold lines here? Can you see them in the camera? What I'm going to do is I'm going to be folding those two, and as I do that, I'm going to be making this valley fold right here. I'm going to be turning it into a mountain fold. So I'm going to fold that out, bring those two down, and when I do that, then this mountain fold just stands straight up. And what I'm going to do, take that mountain fold, is I'm going to take it and I'm going to fold it toward the center there. Okay? Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So remember, we're looking for this little diamond here. We're going to bring those two together. As we do, this is going to turn into, this valley fold is going to turn into a mountain fold. It stands up and we just bring it down. And there you go, you have your two wings done. Now the next step, when you fold both of these down, you see how this middle part stands up? That's exactly what it's supposed to do. It stands up like this, and then you just take it and fold it over like that. And then you fold your entire tile over and fold this up. Now this is one way to have your tile. You can just leave it like this, or you can open this out, which what I normally do is I take the smallest embossing tool that I have. Just kind of slip this right in there, right in between here. Whoops, I guess I'm going backwards here for you guys. I'm going to slip this right in there. And then as I do that, this is just going to fold real nicely and sharp right there. Okay, now this step you can also do after your medallion is put together, and I actually prefer that because it's easier for me to put my pieces together when I just have this fold done. Now you need 8 of these, so you'll need to do exactly what I just did 8 times. And then for the medallion, what I'm matching up here is I'm matching up this center, which you can't really see it. I'll fold it here so you can see it. That center fold there. I'm going to match up this edge with that center fold. Now I'm going to leave just a teeny tiny bit on the bottom so that they're not quite touching, because if I have them touching on the bottom, we won't be able to fit all of them around, but just a little tiny gap. And then I match up those two, and look at how well my wings match up when I do that. It works perfectly. So if I hold that one, and then if I add the next one on there, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put this onto that center line like that, and then we're just going to do that 8 times. Now when we do that, we come up with this medallion. Now the medallion where we actually opened it up, where we did the squash fold right here, that medallion ends up looking like the one on this card where it opens up. And can you see the difference here? This one, they're just not opened up. They just kind of, but I like this because it pops up a little bit more. You know me and my dimension obsession, you know, it just adds a lot of dimension. I usually stick a brad in the middle of the medallion when I stick it to the card. I forgot to mention, when I print out my tiles, when I print out my original sheet, what I use is what's called presentation paper. It's not photo paper, but it's not regular paper either. It's made for like presentational brochures or business presentations. Really nice, crisp colors, looks really beautiful, and it's very easy to fold because it's a text weight paper, and it just works beautifully, nice and bright. I usually print my sheet out twice because of I want this to be on paper, and then I want this to be on cardstock. So then I can just put this on here. I've got my foam pads on the back, and then I'll just attach my medallion. And if you notice, I have a little bit of, I don't know if you can even see it in the camera there, just a little bit of edging on this that I put on there with my trusty Sakura glitter pens. It just adds a nice little touch there. Just do this, and then I add that. And then like this one, if you want to add some peel-offs, there you go. Beautiful card, isn't it? As you can see, I have a large variety of Radiant Star options. Some of them are on, for instance, some of my vintage birds. Isn't that a beautiful card? And then a little Radiant Star medallion to match. Some of them are just made specifically with the Radiant Stars. Go in on Cup, just do a search tool for Radiant Stars and you'll find a lot of them. Well, there you go. There's my video. And I and Crafty Bob wish you the best day ever. We'll talk to you later.